Slime Rancher, an indie simulation game telling the tale of Beatrix LeBeau, a young rancher trying to make a living raising slimes. This comfy, farm simulator game mimics the vibes of titles such as Stardew Valley and Harvest Moon. This game is very welcoming to casual gamers, but still has challenging aspects for more experienced players, like a hardcore mode and endless creativity with scientific gadgets. But these challenges and features just weren't enough for me. I like to think outside the box, attack from a different angle, think thoughts that have never been thought before, like pioneering the creation of the world's first bird milk. It's possible. Which got me to thinking, how many slimes is too many? And can I crash Slime Rancher using just slimes? To begin to conceptualize this, I need an area of operations. A giant landfill dedicated to housing the thousands of slimes needed to attempt this feat. And that's when our good friend Mochi Miles comes in. She's one of the friends of Beatrix that happens to have the dopest crib in all of Slime Rancher, an actual floating mansion. This place has 5 plots and it's relatively contained enough that it should hold the amount of slimes needed to attempt this crash. It should be noted that this attempt was without the assistance of any mods, so all the gathering and transportation of slimes was my own hard work. It ain't much, but it's honest work. Now it was time for the nitty-gritty, sucking up slime after slime and hauling them back to the mansion. I dove headfirst into this mundane process. Like being a package processor at Amazon, I clicked and shipped slimes with an empty mind. Initially, I had established a few corrals to help contain the slimes on the mansion, but they started overflowing after about 300 or so slimes, so I had to switch gears. I made all of the plots different crops, mainly to keep their hungry, lustful eyes on the food, rather than dive off into the unknown abyss. But it also helped maintain a balanced diet for the little guys. At around 1,000 slimes, I established a teleporter to expedite the process. This was when I discovered a geyser of pink slimes that seemed to have an infinite supply. This is where I really began to hit my stride. I was funneling hundreds of slimes onto the mansion. I'd even gone as far as to buy a dozen beach balls to keep the little guys entertained until I'd come back. But this is where I began to run into some issues. I was finally starting to see some lag on the mansion. My numbers were rising faster than Ninja in the Fortnite era. Come on guys, floss, it's New Year's Eve. But there was a supply issue. The geyser of infinite pink slimes was running out. It would only occasionally sputter out a few slimes here and there. Not nearly fast enough for my liking. I had to venture out into different areas in search for more slimes. It was a mighty slime drought, and I had decided to introduce some tabby slimes onto the mansion. I figured, hey, what's the harm? They aren't too rambunctious, they'll just vibe and turn into a Largo slime, no big deal. And it wasn't. Not yet, at least. I was doing everything in my power to make these slimes take its toll on the gameplay. Graphics maxed out. The slimes were jumping and playing, going absolutely nuts for the food I was throwing out. Sure, there were some sad boys in the crowd. It's a slime eat slime world out there, and a couple of those bad boys haven't eaten for days. I was trying my best, I swear I had good intentions, but their morale was inevitably low. 2,000 slimes have come and gone, and I was losing frames like crazy. I was dumping everything I had into this mansion. All types of slimes, plorts, even more food just to get huge animations to try to make it crash. And I wasn't getting the crash yet. It was making me greedy, and with greed comes dire consequences. Any slime I was catching, I'd throw onto the mansion, and I didn't think this would be an issue. But when a slime eats a plort that's not its own, it turns into a tar slime. This hadn't even crossed my mind. With the wool over my eyes, I kept on hustling to add more and more slimes to the mansion, until out of the corner of my eye, I saw a tar slime appear.
NANI?!
These things are no joke. They'll kill entire herds of slimes and infect them as tar slimes like some contagious disease.
Ah! Kill it!
I needed to act fast. If I didn't put an end to this tar slime soon, this whole endeavor would be in the toilet. I dashed, gathered water, and shot it out as fast as I could to stop the tar slimes. But the very thing I sought out was my own destruction. These thousands of slimes were causing so much lag. I could not stop the evasion. I was quickly overwhelmed. The screams of torment from my slimes were just too much for my little mind. They were perishing, and it was all my fault. Before I knew it, 3,000 slimes had been dwindled down to 2,000, to 1,000. And then almost everywhere I looked, it was just tar slimes. I fought long and hard, but just like the end of Halo Reach, there is no winning in sight, and I perished as well. When I came to, the mansion was deserted. Only a few sprinkles of slimes were left after the great tar variant swept through. I wept to myself after hours of work had disappeared. But hey, that's life. In the end, I couldn't crash Slime Rancher, even with a grand total of 3,264 slimes. But this ending may have been more fitting. I rushed for success. I haphazardly ignored caution, and it led to my demise. Maybe this is symbolic of my internet career. Nah, no shot. I'm a content machine.
This one's for you, Kobe. Here we go. They don't call me a cheese master for nothing. Shit. Shit. Come on. To 60. Come on. Don't give up on me.